Hello guys. This is an experiment. This is my first video dubbed in English. Hi guys, I'm Chris, and today I'm talking about this socket and ratchet wrench. 8-in-1. My model is marked POWERFIX. Probably in the future we will only find it marked PARKSIDE. It is a tool that has the possibility of having immediately available for use, without disassembling or mounting additional bushes, or without using other tools, 8 different sizes, starting from the smallest 8 mm up to the largest measuring 21 mm. All this for the price of €9.99. Now let's approach the camera to see how it is made and to understand how this mechanism works. Composed of a mix of metals. Body in C45 steel while the ratchet part is in chrome vanadium. The handle is made of plastic with non-slip rubber inserts. Taking advantage of this sophisticated computer graphics, we see that this tool is 285 mm long and weighs 581 grams. The most central part of the handle is 30 mm wide and allows us a comfortable grip even with the use of work gloves. Analyzing other measures that make us understand the type of use of this tool, we see that the through hole on the part of the larger bushings has a size of 10.5 mm. While the through hole on the part of the smaller bushings has a measure of 6 mm. We will see later what this measure entails. Another important measure is this thickness. On the side of the larger bushes, the thickness between this point and this point is equal to 8 mm. On the side of the smaller bushes, the thickness between this point and this point is much greater, 12 mm. This does not allow us to unscrew and screw in nuts or bolts that are too close to other components. Now, without wasting any more time, let's analyze how the ratchet mechanism is made. And let's analyze the socket wrench mechanism. The outermost bushes, the black ones, in the internal part of the key have those teeth, like a gear, which interact with this pin, anchored in this point, and which, thanks to the spring behind that ball, allow us to operate the ratchet in one direction or another. Same procedure on this side too. Taking for example this socket wrench size 17 to 21, we see that the internal socket wrench, the chromed one, is size 17, the external socket wrench, the black one, is size 21. If we insert a nut or a bolt size 17, this will fit into the inner bush, the chromed one. If we insert a bolt or nut of a size larger than 17, this pushes the chromed bush inwards, which frees up the space to be able to adhere to the inside of the black bush, which is of size 21. All this is allowed thanks to the internal spring, which you see here, look, and which allows the automatic displacement of the internal part when we insert a nut or a bolt that has a size larger than 17. Here is in detail. This type of ratchet mechanism is the oldest mechanism, but also the one that guarantees greater reliability, as it is very simple. And that's what also allows for higher tightening torque. This torque value is not specified on the official website, and it is not specified on the card in the packaging of this tool. Why did I tell you the internal measurements of the holes? Because if we want to use this tool to screw or unscrew nuts in a threaded rod, In this case with a 13 nut, we see that we can do it but up to a certain point. After that the threaded rod measuring 8 mm cannot pass through the hole. Instead we can do it with a bolt that uses the size 10 wrench and the 6 mm shank. On the other hand, we can screw and unscrew nuts on threaded rods with both size 14 and size 17 nuts. The size 17 of the wrench is the maximum size we can use to unscrew or screw a nut on a threaded rod. Because the nut with size 17 is screwed onto a bar that has a thickness of 10 mm. The thickness of this part, and also the thickness of this part, however, do not allow us to work where we have little space. Also because the length of this tool requires quite ample room for maneuver, so we could hardly use this tool for any nut or bolt that concerns the mechanics of cars or motorcycles because we do not have the right spaces to move this very large tool. To make you understand the problem related to the measurement of this thickness, let's try to unscrew the manifold bolt of this Ducati. You see that due to the thickness I am talking about, it is not possible to unscrew. See another example. As you have seen, it is not possible to use this tool when we have little space to move the tool. Another problem is the thickness of the flange, which makes it very difficult for us to unscrew or screw close to other components, as often happens when removing parts from a car or motorcycle engine. This tool is used a lot when you have to disassemble heavy vehicles, trucks, tractors. It is used extensively for dismantling large laboratory machinery. It is used a lot by woodworkers, carpenters, and all those who use large self-tapping screws for wood. Let's see some examples. We make the pre-holes. It may help to rotate in this way if we have the space. It is getting very hard. We have to be careful when using this tool on 8 mm and 10 mm bolts because thanks to the large lever we can risk breaking the bolt. Now let's try this experiment. Not having the maximum value of the tightening torque, we try to tighten this bolt to the maximum bolt that we screw on a threaded bush to have a greater grip on the threads. From the technical specifications, this steel bolt has a tightening torque from 75 to 95 Nm. Let's see if this tool breaks first or if the bolt breaks first. If you go to get the data sheet of these steel bolts, you see that the maximum tightening torque, which varies according to the friction coefficient, goes from a minimum of 70 Nm to a maximum of 93 Nm. I wanted to do this test because, in my opinion, the internal chromed compass could be the weak point of this tool, but I have to change my mind, because the internal compass is made with teeth that adhere perfectly to the black compass, the external one, and therefore it is very difficult for the system to break. Okay guys, I don't have to say more. I hope I have said everything it takes. Great tool. Multi-purpose. Comfortable. 8-in-1. Ideal for all those applications where we have the space to move this great tool. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.